Live 5 News starts now with breaking news.
And that breaking news this morning out of North Charleston. Fire crews are on the scene of a fire at the old Shakora Elementary School. I took this video from the scene this morning. It was very active and still is. This is the area of Success Street and Shakora Avenue. North Charleston Fire Department got there around 2 this morning. Authorities say the school has not been active for several years, but it was being renovated by a community organization. They say a large fire started in the school's auditorium. No injuries have been reported at this time. Firefighters say they'll begin their investigation once fire operations are completed at the scene. It's feeling cold outside right now. You want the coat and maybe an extra cup of coffee to keep you warm. Meteorologist Danielle Prinz is keeping an eye on those 30-degree temperatures this morning. Danielle, winter has returned yet again, and how will the rest of the day feel?
It's going to feel cool all day long, Alexis, so certainly have the jackets with you, the coats ready to go this morning if you are heading out. Looks beautiful out there. Lots of sunshine to start off the day, but regardless, still feeling those chilly temperatures this morning. So as we take a look here out of the low country, 32 in Moncks Corner, also 32 in King Street, 31 degrees this morning in Georgetown, 38 in Mount Pleasant, and a chilly 33 degrees in North Charleston. So dress warm this morning. Big difference from what we felt yesterday morning at this time. Some of those spots farther inland too. You can see Orangeburg 34 degrees, right now 33 degrees in Summerville. So as we go hour by hour, a big change today is going to be more clouds as we head into the second half of the day. We are tracking a cold front, but really from that front, the only difference will be some more added clouds later on today, and that'll keep those temperatures a tad bit cooler for some of those inland spots. But we should see those temperatures topping out today into the mid to upper 50s, but we have a big warming trend underway, so we'll talk more about that coming up.
The Charleston Police Department has a new program aiming to reduce LGBTQ hate crimes and encourages people to report those crimes. The program is called Safe Place. It was first started at the Seattle Police Department, and police in Charleston are the first to launch it here in South Carolina. 65 businesses and organizations in the city have been trained for this program.
The opportunity for everyone in the city to stand up to hate and say we're not going to tolerate it here. Understand that they are a business that if somebody comes in and says that they need refuge in order to call the police, that they're willing to provide that service.
Any business that wants to participate can reach out to Officer Cherry. We have that contact information on our website, live5news.com. Just look for this story. Deputies in Charleston County say they need your help finding a driver who hit a person on Johns Island last month and then drove off. Deputies found a man in a ditch on the side of River Road in the early morning hours of January 6th. The victim survived but was seriously injured. Deputies are looking for the person who hit him. If you have any information, call Crime Stoppers. And 8 people are behind bars this morning facing charges in connection to a gun deal that led to the murder of a Summerville high school student. The Dorchester County Sheriff's Office says 16-year-old Jaquari Perry was killed in a shootout in the Flowertown Village neighborhood on January 27th. Investigators say he was walking home from school at the time of that shooting. 4 people are charged with the teen's murder: DeMonte Copeland Remus, Deontay Shelton, and 2 unnamed minors. Deputies have also charged 4 others with attempted murder in connection with that gun deal. They are Demetrius Anderson, Dante Baylock, Jordan Melton, and an unnamed minor. A customer at a pizza shop in Walterboro is facing charges after police say he dropped his gun by mistake. It discharged and shot a woman in the head. Walterboro police say it happened at Demetrio's House of Pizza. That's on Bells Highway yesterday afternoon. Officers say the gun fell from Stephen Harrison's pocket as he was waiting to check out. They say the gun hit the ground and fired into the woman in front of him. She was airlifted to the hospital. No word on her condition at this time. Harrison is facing charges for unlawful carrying of a handgun. Democratic candidates for the White House are under more pressure than ever. After disaster and confusion during the Iowa caucuses, presidential hopefuls went toe-to-toe in New Hampshire, just days away from the first primary in the nation. Mary Maloney has the highlights from last night's event.
7 familiar faces took familiar places at the New Hampshire Democratic debate. But after the disastrous Iowa caucuses,
I took a hit in Iowa, and I'll probably take a hit here.
the stakes seemed higher than ever.
We need to reestablish the rule of law in this country.
Pete Buttigieg and Bernie Sanders claiming victory in Iowa, leading the polls in New Hampshire and feeling the front-runner fire.
Mayor Buttigieg is a great guy. He's a mayor of a small city who has done some good things, but has not demonstrated he has the ability.
Others hoping for a memorable moment.
Bernie and I work together all the time, but I think we are not going to be able to outdivide the divider-in-chief.
The next president is going to have to restore the credibility of this country.
The Democratic candidates touching on topics that matter most to people in New Hampshire, like health care.
If we do what Joe wants, we'll be spending some $50 trillion on health care over the next 10 years. That's the status quo, Joe.
Climate change.
Maybe we pool our resources and fight our common enemy, which is climate change.
And the economy.
We're going to have to take Mr. Trump down on the economy, and he's going to beat us unless we can take him down on the economy, stupid.
What we have to do is actually get the markets working to improve our family's way of life.
With the New Hampshire primary on Tuesday, the time for candidates to stand out to voters is quickly running out. In Manchester, New Hampshire, I'm Mary Maloney.
The next Democratic debate will be February 19th in Las Vegas, Nevada. The requirements to qualify have increased, and so far only 3 candidates have met the threshold: Biden, Sanders, and Warren. Charleston will also be hosting a debate on the 25th at the Gilliard Center. Check out this historic moment in Myrtle Beach. Darius Rucker was among 2 other people inducted into the South Carolina Hall of Fame. The other 2 inductees include Elizabeth Evelyn Wright, who founded what's known as Voorhees College, and notable painter Dr. Leo Twiggs. The president of Voorhees College accepted the award on behalf of Wright. This is also the first all-African American class of inductees for the state's Hall of Fame. Up next, more information is being released about the helicopter crash that killed Kobe Bryant and 8 others. And the longest sentence is handed down in the college admissions scandal. The National Transportation Safety Board is releasing more information into the helicopter crash that killed basketball legend Kobe Bryant, his daughter, and 7 other people. It says there's no evidence showing the aircraft had engine failure. Authorities say extremely foggy conditions created limited visibility for the pilot, which is said to be a factor in that crash that happened nearly 2 weeks ago. The NTSB says the helicopter was descending at more than 2,000 feet per minute at the time of the impact. A federal judge in Boston has handed down the longest sentence yet in the college admissions scandal. As Carter Evans reports, prosecutors say this parent's actions really stood out among all those charged.
Of all the parents swept up in the college admissions scandal, prosecutors say Douglas Hodge was especially active. For nearly a decade, they say he paid Rick Singer, mastermind of the fraud, $850,000 to get 4 of his children into Georgetown and USC as phony athletic recruits, and he was wiretapped allegedly trying to get a 5th child into school. The retired chief executive of investment giant PIMCO begged the judge for leniency, admitting he illegally tipped the scales in favor of my children over others and expressed his deepest and sincerest regret. But Judge Nathaniel Gordon called Hodge's conduct appalling and mind-boggling. He sentenced Hodge to 9 months in prison, fined him $750,000, and ordered 500 hours of community service. That same judge will oversee the case of Lori Loughlin, who's charged with even more crimes.
Should Lori Loughlin be concerned?
Of course. I guarantee you she's freaking out today because she's concerned that what happened to Hodge is going to happen to her.
The judge said he would have given Hodge a year in prison, but Hodge's $30 million in charitable donations over the years earned him a discount on his sentence. Hodge will report to federal prison on March 20th. Carter Evans, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Coming up, the number 3 team in the state hosts the number 7 team. Kevin Bilodeau will have a recap of your top high school teams. But first, when we come back, Danielle Prinz will let us know just how long we'll need to keep those jackets handy this weekend.
Now, your first alert forecast from Live 5 News.
Well, we are waking up to some big changes across the Lowcountry. Happy weekend to you. I'm meteorologist Danielle Prinz. Over the last 24 hours, we really have seen those temperatures drop across the Lowcountry. So compared to yesterday morning, this is that difference. Down by about 22 degrees in North Charleston, 22 in Moncks Corner, 21 degrees in Summerville this morning. So certainly feeling different. We don't have those winds kicking, though, out there. Much more calm compared to what we felt yesterday, but still cold out there. 32 degrees right now in Moncks Corner, also 32 in Kingstree. A cold 31 degrees in Georgetown. Right now 33 degrees in North Charleston, 37 in Kiowa Island, 38 degrees in Edisto Beach. So really anywhere you're headed this morning, make sure you dress warm. Maybe grab a couple cups of coffee and add an extra layer. Keep the jackets with you as well as we head throughout the day. Certainly is a beautiful start, not tracking any clouds out there. A lot of sunshine this morning, and we aren't expecting any rain today. So it should be a beautiful way to start the weekend, but we will notice some more clouds working their way back in second half of the day today. So certainly a lot of sunshine to start off the day, but we are watching that second cold front off to the west here developing across the south. That'll work its way through the Lowcountry throughout the day, and that'll help increase the cloud cover later on. So as we head through the morning hours, lots of sunshine, chilly temperatures. Make sure you have the sunglasses. But for those of you farther inland, just along the I-95 corridor, you'll actually start to notice those clouds a bit sooner than those of you closer to our coastline. So those clouds will help hold those temperatures down, keep them a bit cooler for some of those inland spots such as inland Dorchester County, Orangeburg counties, Clarendon counties, and then plenty of clouds as we head closer to 4 o'clock and 5 o'clock, really for everyone across the Lowcountry. So some more clouds than overnight tonight. We'll notice those clouds clearing out of here as that front works its way through. Dry front, not expecting any showers, just plenty of sunshine as we head throughout the day with temperatures in the upper 40s right around 11 a.m. and those temperatures should peak today into the upper 50s for those spots closer to our coastline. But those of you farther inland, low 50s. So really all day long, keep the jackets handy, especially if you're headed out to the beaches, areas along the coast where you have a bit of a breeze. Some of those shaded spots, you'll certainly want those jackets later on. But we do have a big warm up that we are tracking, not so much this weekend. Tomorrow not feeling as chilly out there, but by Monday and Tuesday, temperatures climbing into the mid to upper 70s. That's out ahead of that next cold front, and that front will bring the chance for some rain. Not expecting any rain this weekend or even into Monday. Dry start to the work week, but by Tuesday, some more moisture will be tracking west of I-95, and that front will really have a difficult time trying to work its way through our areas, but nonetheless, that will go ahead and increase our rain chance for Tuesday. Not overly wet, and really with this 7-day forecast, there's no day that looks completely wet, just an increased rain chance because of that front. So like I said, it will have a tough time moving through the Lowcountry, which is why Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, you can see that rain chance is elevated just a bit. So possibly some showers as we head throughout the week, and then some cooler and drier air will work its way back into our areas by the end of this upcoming work week.
Now from the Lowcountry's news leader, it's time for the George Sink Sports Desk.
Good morning, everybody. We'll begin with high school football with a coaching carousel continuing to turn on Friday, and this time it stopped in front of the biggest school in the state. Wando head coach Jimmy Noonan announcing on Twitter that he's stepping down after 11 seasons of leading the Warriors. Noonan saying in the statement that after much soul searching, it's time to move on and explore other opportunities. During his time with Wando, Noonan put together a record of 62-67 that included a 10-win season back in 2012, along with the region championship. That was his best year with the program. Noonan's departure means we're back up to 5 head coaching vacancies in the Lowcountry, with Wando joining Ashley Ridge, James Island, Timberland, and St. John's. To high school basketball, Wando and Goose Creek, two of the top 3 teams, tied among the Region 7 standings in 5A, facing off on Friday night. First quarter, off the Rainbow Pass, Tyrese Williams. comes up with the loose ball and puts that one in. Wando goes on top early. Goose Creek going to answer on the other end. It's Yatari Bolton. Left all alone outside the three-point line. He gets the 3 to go. Goose Creek goes on top. Wando had trouble hitting shots early on in the first half, but eventually they get going a little bit. Sam Layden from the corner. He gets the 3 to go. Had a team high 15 on the night. Goose Creek, though, just a little bit better. Justin Alexander from the outside gets the 3 to go. He had 11. Gators go on. They hold on for a 2-point victory over Wando. Final there was 41-39. On the girls' side, Goose Creek ranked 3rd in the entire state in 5A, hosting 7th-ranked Wando. We start off in the third quarter. Sherry and Green going down the lane right here, going to get the little floater to go. Goose Creek holding on to the lead. Later, the outlet pass over to Anaya Oliver. Oliver going to put this one down, gets the bucket, and gets the foul. Goose Creek would go up by 9 in that fourth quarter. Wando, though, would storm back. It's going to be Dylan Silber from the outside. She's going to get the 3 to go. Wando starts chipping away at that lead. And then later, it's Elizabeth Eads from the outside for 3. Wando would cut the lead down to 1 with under a minute to go. But Goose Creek would hit their free throws, and they go on for a 44-35 victory over Wando. Back to boys. Fort Dorchester trying to inch closer to a region title on the road as they face Stahl. Start off in the second quarter. Antoine Parker, all alone underneath, comes up with a steal underneath his own basket. Puts that one down for 2. Later, Stahl answering on the other end. Off the break, Kevin Stokes going to go in for the easy layup. Stahl goes on top by 6. Back on the other end, watch Amarian Green. Loses the ball for just a moment, but gets it right back. Gets 2 guys to fall down, then pulls up and hits the dagger jump shot right there. But Michael Gardner not impressed for Stahl. On the other end, he's going to hit the 3. Stahl up by 9 at the half, and they end up holding on. Big win for the Warriors at home over Fort Dorchester, taking it 79-75. That's going to do it for sports. Everyone have a great day.
After the break, when your kids will get the chance to take over the North Charleston Coliseum for a South Carolina Stingrays game and find out the STEM competition students will be taking on today as they prepare to storm the Citadel. Happy weekend, Low Country. Many people are kicking off their Saturday by lacing up their running shoes. The Cupid's Chase 5K in Summerville is happening today. It kicks off on West Doty Avenue near the YMCA at 10 a.m. Registration starts at 8 this morning and costs $35. Cupid's Chase raises funds and awareness for people with disabilities. And students are getting ready to storm the Citadel this morning medieval style. The 10th annual event includes challenges involving STEM, that's science, technology, engineering, and math. Students will get to make and test their own catapults, robots, and water bottle rockets. The event begins at 8 this morning and goes until 4 at the Citadel's campus. Now, Google is teaming up with the school for this event. The Isle of Palms is hosting a Doggy Day at the Recreation Center from 9 this morning until noon. There will be free rabies vaccinations. You can get your IOP dog license and even get photos taken with your pets. And you can shuck your Saturday away at Oysters on the Point. It's happening today from 2 to 6 p.m. at the Charleston Harbor Resort and Marina in Mount Pleasant. There will be local oysters and blue crabs. There's also live music, drinks, and local art vendors. This event will take place every Saturday through March. Looking ahead to tomorrow, you can check out the West Ashley Restaurant Festival for a taste of food and drinks from various restaurants under one roof. The event is happening from 5 p.m. to 8 at the Schoolhouse on Magnolia Road. Restaurants will be giving samples of their menus, items. Tickets are $15 in advance or $20 at the door. And the kids are taking over. The South Carolina Stingrays hockey team is hosting the Jacksonville Iceman tomorrow afternoon at the North Charleston Coliseum. It's the annual Kids Takeover Day, so there will be family fun activities. The first 1,000 kids ages 14 and under get a Stingrays puzzle. The puck drops for the game at 3:05. After the break, a daycare owner and her kids have a close call after a tornado rips through the Charlotte area. And see where students who lost their school to a tornado several weeks ago will now be having prom. It's all thanks to the Carolina Panthers.
Now, from the Lowcountry's news leader, this is Live 5 News.
Good Saturday morning to you. We're waking up to temperatures that are back near freezing. Meteorologist Danielle Prinz is joining us this chilly morning. Danielle, will it feel like winter all weekend? And I see you have a little friend that has popped up next to you there on the screen.
Yeah, so bottom left corner of your screen, you can see that bird. Not sure what kind of bird it is, but he certainly is enjoying all that sunshine this morning. And it is feeling cold out there, so make sure you grab the coats, and it will feel cool for most of the weekend. So certainly have the jackets both today and tomorrow. But great start to our Saturday here. But these temperatures certainly feeling chilly. 32 in North Charleston right now. Hanahan also 32 degrees there. Out at our beaches, temperatures also starting off in the 30s. So 35 in Folly Beach, also 35 degrees in Kiowa Island right now. Then for some of those spots farther inland, still chilly. Summerville 30 degrees as well in Walterboro, 32 degrees this morning amongst corners. So feeling much different than yesterday at this time thanks to that cold front that did move through. So a lot of sunshine as we head throughout the day. By the later morning hours, those temperatures will finally start to warm just a tad bit, but still feeling cool out there. Right around 50 degrees by 11 o'clock this morning. Second half of the day, we are tracking a cold front. It is a dry front, but that'll bring some more clouds to the low country this afternoon and this evening. So forecast high today, 57 degrees, and overnight those temperatures will cool down back to the 30s, upper 30s closer to the coast, but areas farther inland low 30s. So we do have another chilly night on tap, but a big warm up is ahead for the low country in the 7-day forecast. We'll talk more about that coming up.
Danielle will be keeping an eye on those temperatures throughout our weekend. For the latest, download the Live 5 First Alert weather app. Emergency crews in North Carolina rescued 8 people, including children, from a Rowan County home after they became trapped by rising floodwaters. This situation unfolded around 5:30 yesterday morning. It took about 2 trips to get everyone from the home to dry land by a boat. Fire officials say nobody was hurt. And in Charlotte, an EF1 tornado ripped through the area on Thursday. And as you can see here, a tree actually toppled on top of a home. Now the top of a daycare. Now the owner says several kids were just minutes away from being crushed by that falling tree. Carolina Hicks has more on how they were saved.
I was terrified. I'm still shaking and overwhelmed.
Sherry Wellman is reeling after storms ravaged her South Charlotte home.
We were watching the news. We saw that the tornado was apparently going to hit Providence High School within 3 minutes, and Providence High School is just right here.
But it's not just where she lives, it's where she runs a daycare for 5 children under 2.
I had 2 babies in my sunroom, threw them in my son's arms, ran out to the playroom, my husband and I did, grabbed the others.
To say this was a close call is an understatement. She says 3 minutes later, the roof collapsed right on top of where 5 babies had been sleeping.
My husband was still on his way out of the room, and he said, you know, the tree hit the playroom.
They huddled together in one of the only areas that did not get hit.
I was thanking God they were alive.
This is all that's left of the playroom.
There was one. Actually, her bed is under there.
Sarah Wright got a text about what happened and left work, speechless when she saw the house and her daughter Madeline unharmed.
It was probably the best thing I've ever felt in my life, just to hug on her again, and then obviously to hug Sherry, because her family, they saved our children.
A blessing.
Tomorrow we'll celebrate her being one, which is a miracle that she's here to do that.
Beating Mother Nature by minutes.
Officials in North Carolina are searching for the mother after a fetus was found at a pumping station. The body of the unborn baby has been taken to the North Carolina Medical Examiner's office, where an autopsy will be performed. Hillsborough police say a utility worker made the discovery yesterday morning while cleaning the pump station. Officials say the mother could need medical attention if she had a miscarriage or was assaulted. Deputies in Florence County say they have charged a man for robbing and sexually assaulting a woman he met online. Officials say 33-year-old Ronnie Durant, who you see there on your screen, robbed the victim at gunpoint, forced her to have sex with him, then made her drive to different locations where Durant allegedly robbed other people. He now faces 2 counts of criminal sexual conduct and 4 counts of armed robbery and kidnapping charges. A high school principal in Beaufort County is apologizing after using a racial slur in a speech about Black History Month. May River High School principal met with parents last night to talk about what happened. He says he used the word in his entirety to reference the language administrators hear in the hallways and in society, saying he meant for it to be a teachable moment to eliminate the word.
You know, the best way I can answer that is this wasn't a prepared speech, obviously. There was a moment of transition in the program that where I spoke, and so I knew that, you know, that was not the appropriate context.
A spokesperson with the school district says they plan to have all students and staff in the district undergo some sort of cultural sensitivity training. Check this out. Some South Carolina students will get a chance to celebrate prom. It's all thanks to the Carolina Panthers. North Central High School in Kershaw was seriously damaged by a tornado several weeks ago. Representatives from the Panthers surprised the students yesterday by offering their indoor practice facility for the dance. And the school's prom is scheduled for the end of March. Coming up, health officials in Louisiana are warning those who recently visited a certain area about a possible outbreak affecting hundreds. But first, a Georgia officer hailed a hero. Watch the life-saving efforts performed as a baby stops breathing. A police sergeant in Waynesboro, Georgia, is now being called a hero. This comes as newly released body cam video shows him jumping into action to save a baby who couldn't breathe. Janet Shyamalan shows you this dramatic rescue and a heartwarming reunion.
Where's the baby at?
For a parent, a moment of sheer terror.
Okay, let me see.
With only seconds between life and death. The Collins family finds an angel in Georgia Police Sergeant Harold Drummond.
When I looked down at that baby AJ, I looked down into my son's face. I looked down into my grandson's face.
His knowledge of two-finger infant CPR would save the life of 6-month-old AJ Sherrod, who's suffering from a respiratory infection.
Okay. There you go. That's what we want.
He was in the right place at the right time, and he allowed God to use him to help us save the baby.
All right, if he can make this sound, he's breathing.
For Angel Collins, the what-ifs are unimaginable, and life would be unthinkable without one of her twins.
When you hear that baby cry, and you know it's going to be okay.
Hold on for a minute.
It's hard.
It is hard.
Tell the medics we got him breathing.
This is what we do, you know, and a lot of people don't realize that we're human also.
This is my future partner, you know.
Once strangers, now connected forever. Janet Shamlian, CBS News, Waynesboro, Georgia.
And what an incredible story. Sergeant Drummond says his oath of office requires him to serve the community, adding that he believes he did what any law enforcement officer would have done. Up next, we have an updated numbers from the deadly coronavirus as the first U.S. citizen is reported dead from the illness.
Now, your first alert forecast from Live 5 News.
Hey, well, we made it to the weekend. Good morning to meteorologist Danielle. Prinz. Beautiful start to the day, but it is a chilly one out there. So if you're about to head out, maybe run some errands, take the dog for that morning walk, you're going to want to dress warm, maybe even a couple extra cups of coffee. Temperatures right now freezing in North Charleston, 32 degrees there with winds just out of the west at 3 miles per hour. Big improvement compared to the winds that we were feeling yesterday. So certainly not as windy out there, which is great because those temperatures are feeling cold. We don't need them to feel any colder for many of you. This is already pretty chilly. So 34 right now in North Charleston, 32 in Moncks Corner, also freezing in Kingstree and Georgetown, 30 degrees in Summerville, even 38 degrees down in Edisto Beach. If you are heading out maybe to grab some breakfast this morning, a lot of sunshine is on tap to start the day, and temperatures by 9 o'clock should be into the low 40s, so still feeling cool. And then we'll start to notice some more clouds working their way into our areas as we head through the afternoon hours. But really all day long, those temperatures will be staying cool, so make sure you keep the jackets handy even into the afternoon hours, especially with the clouds increasing first for those inland spots. That will help keep those temperatures cooler. So check out Manning, possibly only peaking right around 51 degrees there this afternoon, possibly 51 in Kingstree. And those spots closer to the coast that have more time under the sunshine, those temperatures will get a bit warmer, possibly into the upper 50s, say for Goose Creek in North Charleston, right around 57 degrees this afternoon. So staying cool, but like I said, more clouds as we head throughout the day. So right now, a lot of sunshine. You can see that here with our live Super Doppler Max. Not tracking any showers across the low country, but we do have this front here off to our west that is developing across the south. That'll work its way through later on today. Not expecting any rain with that front. The atmosphere is just too dry for that, but we certainly will notice some more clouds as we head through the afternoon hours. So I'll show you that here with our future tracker. This is right around 9 a.m. this morning. Lots of sunshine, but keep an eye here off to the west. This is right around lunchtime. After that point, we'll notice some more clouds, especially for those inland areas, but mostly cloudy skies, say around 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock this evening, and then overnight as that front moves through, mostly clear skies ahead for us, but temperatures cold once again, especially for those inland spots. Tomorrow morning, grab the coats, right around 35 degrees in Manning, possibly down to near 30 degrees for Kingstree, and then the closer you are to the coast, temperatures not as cold, but still feeling chilly tomorrow morning, starting off into the upper 30s for those coastal spots. So here's what to expect overall: a pleasant weekend, staying dry and cool by Monday. 70s return back to the forecast, so a big warm up ahead for this upcoming work week. And then we are tracking that next front for this week. It will be lingering throughout the area, which will help keep that rain chance into the forecast. None of these days looking overly wet. Dry weekend. Monday also looks dry. Some more clouds work their way in through the second half of the day, and by Tuesday, plenty of moisture off to the west. Maybe a few showers as we head throughout Tuesday afternoon and evening. Not tracking too much rain for Tuesday, but as that front has a hard time deciding what it wants to do throughout the work week, that means that'll keep a rain chance into the forecast Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Finally, that front should work its way through, and once it does, we'll feel some cooler and drier air into the low country by the end of the work week.
Health officials out of Louisiana are worried about an outbreak of the norovirus spreading after at least 200 people became sick at a nearby casino. Lab tests are still being run, so that number could increase. The casino in Lake Charles has hosted several large events over the past few days. The highly contagious illness can cause vomiting and stomach pains. The Department of Health is unsure how the virus spread in the first place, but says the best way to avoid it is to wash your hands frequently. A group of college students in Maine are currently under quarantine after they recently returned from a trip to China. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says it's not necessary as they pose no health risks. But Colby College requested the students quarantine themselves and is also providing the group food and medical exams. Nearly 35,000 people around the world have been infected by the coronavirus. The death toll has reached more than 720, with the first death of an American from the virus now being reported. The U.S. Embassy in Beijing says a U.S. citizen has died while in a Wuhan hospital. The embassy released a statement saying they can confirm the patient was 60 years old, but they have no further comment out of respect for the family. An unknown odor at a high school outside of Boston has sent 34 people to the hospital. Officials say a teacher reported that strange odor yesterday morning and a hazmat team came out. 2 teachers and nearly 36 students were sent to the hospital as the school was evacuated. Kingston's fire chief says people experienced dizziness and throat irritation, indicating that some type of chemical was released. No serious injuries have been reported. The cause of the odor is still unknown at this time. The Department of Justice has closed its antitrust investigation involving multiple car brands. The investigation included BMW, Ford, and Honda after the companies rejected the Trump administration's relaxed air pollution and mileage regulations. Instead, the car makers agreed to meet the tougher standards set by California that are also followed by 13 other states. 40% of the U.S. population lives in those 14 states with tougher guidelines. It costs manufacturers more, but it enables them to streamline production. Starting next week, cherry vanilla Coca-Cola along with zero sugar version will be available for purchase in cans and bottles. The flavors were inspired by the many customers who mix cherry and vanilla Coke at the company's Freestyle soda fountains. Coca-Cola has about 51,000 of those Freestyle machines. The company gets regular updates from them to get information on the most popular flavors. Cherry vanilla Coke is the most popular hybrid drink. Still ahead, see why this unique mansion for sale in South Carolina has people talking.
We are waking up to some big changes this morning. Temperatures about 20 degrees cooler than what we felt yesterday morning at this time. Thanks to that front that moved through, that means areas waking up to temperatures below freezing. Check out Walterboro and Summerville, 30 degrees there, 32 right now in Moncks Corner, Kingstree, and Georgetown, closer to the coast. Temperatures into the mid to upper 30s. So have the coast. Temperatures this afternoon should peak into the upper 50s, closer to the coast, low 50s inland, and we'll notice more clouds this afternoon than what we're waking up to. So beautiful start to the day, but possibly mostly cloudy skies by 4 o'clock and 5 o'clock today. Tomorrow, more sunshine. Temperatures not as cool. Then check out Monday, mid 70s. Return to the forecast, upper 70s Tuesday, and Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, slight rain chance. Could see a few showers as we head throughout the week.
Take a look at this. A Fort Mill man is selling his mansion, which has an unusual feature in the basement. His 12,000 square foot home has 6 bedrooms, a 5-car garage, and a 60s inspired theme in the basement. There's a grocery store front, a soda shop from the 60s with a working kitchen, and even a club. And if you're in the mood for a movie, there's a spot for that too. The homeowner's background is in production design. He says he treats his basement like a movie set. To buy this 1.3-acre home, it's still going to set you back more than $1.5 million.
Wow, but 12,000 square feet, that is a lot of space.
That's a lot of space. I don't know what I would do with all that.
Wouldn't want to clean that, that's
I know,
for sure.
right? Good point.